Hi guys, Dorota Palicka, international nail artist and educator here. Because we have got lots of followers on my YouTube channel, I have produced this video, and this is something very challenging, something a bit funny and something boring at some parts, but I hope you can skip those filing. I will be doing my right hand with my left hand, and obviously I'm right-handed, so this is going to be a big trouble. But it's just to appreciate that you are here with me, and I hope you will really enjoy and have fun watching this video. So something completely different and really challenging for me, because I'm useless when it comes to doing my right hand. And these nails are pretty old, because I had them done before we was going away on holiday. So they are all, I think they are about 4 weeks old. My nails grow pretty slow. I could probably get away a couple more weeks, but I can't because I have banged with this hand pretty strong when I was doing some gardening, because you know I love garden too. And this nail becomes a bit loose. I believe I banged it so strong that it did pull the layer of my natural nail, so to prevent any kind of Pseudomonas bacteria in there, because I play a lot in the water. I need to do the rebalance on them. It's going to be really challenging, but as you can see, all the crystal stays on intact. There is no missing ones, and you can see in my previous videos how I stick the crystals. Usually it's a brush on glue, and then I go just run the crystals with the top coat. So that works really well. And I'm going to show you also how to remove the crystals. So I've got some cuticle nipper. They're really huge, and because of that they are pretty nice and strong. I show you also the difference in between my regular cuticle nippers. So that's my cuticle nippers for a cuticle work, and they're really nice and tiny, only 2 millimeters. Which I love, like they're really precise. And then the ones to remove the stones are huge and heavy. You can see also they are recenter, and but they're brilliant for a removal. So let's start doing those shooting with the crystals. Close your eyes, guys. I'm going to do that as well, because they are always jumping about. Actually, I love this. Oh my gosh, how stained they are. I love those crystals, the big ones especially. So if I manage to save them, I might use them for some kind of designs. Because my left hand is not trained at all, like I'm completely useless. You are going to have lots of fun with this video. And definitely always close your eyes when shooting with the crystals. Yeah, the camera operator got it. See, I managed to save this one, so I'll use it for a nail art. Okay, another big shooting. Managed to save this one too. Oh my gosh, how dirty they are! I'm embarrassed now. We was planting the sweet pea in the garden, and it will look really beautiful over the summer months. So I will show you once it gives me the flower. I managed to save this one too. Once it gives me a flowers, I will show you how beautiful it was. So definitely it was worth all my nails, all the stains and the compost. So actually taking off the crystals when they secure this way is a really big hassle. I don't want to, you could also use the e-file to file them, but I don't want to do that, because it's going to damage my beads. So the cuticle nippers are best way to remove them. Okay, a bit more of the shooting. With the right hand, of course, it is much easier. I can't even write with my left hand. Oh, come on, last one, behave. Almost. Yeah, half a finger later. No, I didn't manage well. So I can put them on the sides. Oh my gosh, they look really disgusting. Now it's a time for filing, so I'm going to use my e-file, but just to protect myself and the things around me a little bit from the dust, because I don't have a dust collector in here in the house studio. I'm going to put the wet baby wipe, so it is going to collect a little bit of the excess of the dust. Normally, you know, I'm really cheeky because I pop into the salon, like, and there is my colleague Agnieszka, and I'm like, Aga, could you just touch up my nails? Like, I need one to be filed, and maybe just to apply a little bit of product on. We've got all 7 minutes, but you will manage. And this way it is much easier than doing full hand on my own. But I like the challenges. So my drill, I will put it on the reverse. Of course, low speed, because normally I hold the drill this way and it's very secure. I can stabilize with my pinky. And now that's where the first trouble starts. I even don't know how to hold it. No, this is not going to be safe. Okay, so probably I will hold it this way and I will try to do most of the movements with my right hand rather than the left. So the left hand is going to probably just stay steady. And I'm going to work opposite way. Oh my gosh, I will create millions of the holes. Feel like a beginner. This is going to take ages. Okay, we're getting there. So I need to remove all the old product and try to don't create too many holes. I'm doing this video, guys, only for you, just because you support me so well, and I thought, like, okay, I show you the everyday life of the nail tech and a big struggle of doing the not dominant hand, doing the nails with not dominant hand. By the way, this bit is great, like especially this part, because it's not going to hurt even if you touch the skin. Okay, cuticle work. Okay, I think I will go into the normal. I've got also some tips for you later on when I will apply the gel, how to do it so you can get really nice and neat on the sides. This is like peeling the carrots with your left hand. So because I have no control over the drill, that's why it gives me all those funny noises. Oh my gosh, they are going to be so misshaped. But we're almost there. This beat is fantastic, honestly. I love it so much. Okay, just because I really don't feel the control over the drill bit, I might do the rest with the hand file. Maybe not. Okay, moving into another one. Ten hours later. No, this is not going to work like that. Actually, I just slow down the speed and I will go more movement, but on lower speed, so I don't create too many holes. These nails were really nice, and it's a shame for me to destroy them. But and imagine now asking your colleague, like, could you just file off the color from my nails? It just takes like 5 seconds for them, you know, with the right hand, rather than me struggle now. So I'm helping myself with my right hand, which does some movement, and I'm holding my left hand steady in one place. I think that gives me a... oh my gosh, that looks so bad. Basically, the biggest trouble doing your own nails with your this hand is so easy, the shape is perfect and it's so nice, but the struggle of doing your other hand is just, it takes a double time because it is easier to do the mistake, and having not control too much this hand to this hand is just taking ages. Anyway, I'm going to file it, the rest of them, and then I will come back to you once they all filed, and I show you the step how to prepare them for a gel application. Actually, sometimes there is even a smarter way of doing your own right hand if you right-handed, and I thought I will be smart and I will hire my husband. So yeah, pure him and pure me. Well, let's see how it will work. We need to give him a quick lesson how to file the nails, so he doesn't make holes in my nail bed. Please, Patrick.
You'll be fine.
We'll be fine, yeah.
Come over on.
So to turn the drill on, you need to press the start button. Oh my gosh. Are you scared? I am.
I'm not.
Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's going to have a fun. So
Okay, I'll manage.
put the drill on the low settings, very low settings. And
This one started?
yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm closing my eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't stop in one place, just keep going. Better.
Right.
No, this one is actually worse because that's the nail where we all had to start this job done because this nail is lifting. So that's the most difficult nail. When we've got some lifting on the nails, we have to be very careful because the lifting can jump out and you can actually go through the natural nail bed. So I never file off too much from the nails which are lifting. I rather to hand file. And I would suggest you don't go too close to the cuticle because that's where the lifting started.
Okay.
Not,
What?
not too close to the cuticle. Okay, that's my daughter coming back from school as well, so maybe she will want to give it a try. You want to give it a try to the filing my nails?
I think you're ready.
Huh?
I think you're ready.
Okay, she not fancy that. I actually might hire her in some next episode, like next tutorial, like a challenge, a nails done by the daughter. See, good stuff when Patrick is filing my nail is actually better because he doesn't create as many holes as I did. Not that I feel completely safe about it, but I think he's getting hang of it. Do you like it?
No.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Too much dust for me. Ooh. And too much scare.
Too much stress.
Yes.
Anyway, we are going to play with them for another couple hours and we will be back when the product is off. After a couple minutes of practice and doing one more nail, he's actually doing pretty well. So this is going much better. I'm well impressed. I think the determination and a good training is the key to the success. So yeah, I can relax now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he was like shaking my hand. Come on, relax, relax. You can see how much more confidence he has when filing the last nail. He's a really quick learning student. Maybe we should challenge Patrick a little bit more. Would you like... Okay, I tell you later. Would you like him to see maybe another set of the nails or something? From the beginning to the finish? Patrick, what do you think about it?
It will be a long day. I'm not sure we will manage that.
Yeah, obviously his favorite hobby is a gym. He's crazy about it. Like every single day, I have no clue where he takes the motivation from.
Same like you for the nails.
Maybe that's true. Yeah, actually, I'm never fed up of doing the nails.
Can you, yeah. Can you twist that a wee bit? Maybe. I prefer trick of the file for this part.
Yeah, definitely. If it's too close to the cuticle or too close to the natural nail, it's better to touch it with the hand file. But I'm really well impressed, I must say. What you think, guys? Anyway, let me know down in the comments below if you want to see Patrick more.
I think it's not too bad.
No, I think it's quite okay. Definitely better than mine with my left hand.
Do you need anything else?
Yeah, it's definitely better than mine. I think he start enjoying it. Yeah, that's the most difficult one because it has the lifting.
Yeah, feeling that.
So on the lifting you can remove the bulk of the product which is at the highest point of the nail. That's an apex. No!
No?
No.
Okay.
No, we'll leave that for the hand file. I don't want to shorten them too much.
Okay, second. This down.
Anyway, so we don't get bored. What I'm going to do is I will get Patrick to file a little bit more the nails for me, and we will get back to you when it will be a time to prep the natural one. Yeah, we filed the all four, and I will just keep the thumb for you for the rest of the video so you can see. Actually, I will keep two nails, one by me, one by Patrick maybe. He says no.
He don't say anything, but I don't think so. As them.
After the most of the filing is done, the bulkage of the product, I have left this one because there is quite a big air, and that's like the reason why I was getting them done. There is quite a lot of air in this one, and we need to file that. But also, I want to show you how much my natural nails have grown as well, because from the top when I had the nails, you couldn't see as much of the growth, but from underneath you can see like how much my natural nails have grown. That's where the extension starts. So you can see it's lots of growth. Like that's my natural nail finishing here. They have grown lots, and to get rid of the air I need to cut out those air and then wait for this piece to fall out, because you don't want to end up like close with the product, fresh product, any lifting. So I'm filing below the place where I've got my air, and the main reason why I got this here air, it was my natural nail didn't manage to hold the product. So actually my natural nail, because the nails are built up from the layers, it's split, and that's why it was pulling the product off. Obviously I'm doing my not dominant hand, and you can see I'm helping myself as much as I can with my right hand, because this hand knows what it's doing compared to the left one. So I keep filing until really this piece falls off. But also at the same time I keep checking, because I don't want to overfile my natural nail. Boring part, but very important. See, I can't go over too strong with the movements, because if I would go this direction, I kind of keep pressing on those lifting and I make it bigger. So I'm very gentle at filing it. You can see it's all this place which needs to come out. I'm almost there. You can see already that this place starts to separate, but I don't want to pull it yet. I have to do a little bit more filing. And that's it. You could see it, it did jump out from my nail. So that's the way how you remove the big lifting, and then you can still use the extension which you have built it as your skeleton. And yeah, it's definitely my natural nail which didn't manage to hold it. And basically after you have filed away the air, all you have to do is blend that in with your natural nail, the extension which you've got left. I'm sorry, twisting my hand into the funny ways. You can see also I'm helping myself with my thumb to pull away the folds, nail folds, which are pretty deep in my hands. That's actually them ready. I could touch up more here just to blend it a little bit better. Yeah, and now we can do the next step, which is push back the cuticles, and even the simple step with the left hand is pretty difficult. So I'm going to push back the cuticles. I will maybe show you on this nail only and then do the rest on my own. So I'm pushing back the cuticles, the other side, scraping any cells. And then using 180 grit on my natural nail plate, I'm going to clean any remaining bits and pieces which we don't need. You can see I'm using the corner of my file to kind of push back the cuticles as well. Very difficult with the left hand. I'm still blending one more place here. Yeah, and that's me happy. I remove any dust which is on the nail plate, and I will be preparing it for the application of the gel. So remove the dust, and then using the blue scrub, clean the nail plate. I also got an extra nail prep, which I really love to use. It's kind of dehydrating the nail plate, so the nails are lasting better. And then the universal air bond, and you can use it with both gels and acrylics. It is drying in air, which is also shortening the time of the application. I applied it only on the natural nail and then waited for it to dry. I think Patrick would be better in the application. He's laughing now. Now I show you with my left hand. So I've got the brush and I'm going to pick up the product. Now everything works opposite way, so there we are. Tiny bit of the clear gel. Put it on. And then the first layer, I always massage it into the nail plate, like really well. This is the layer where I also cap the free edge, like all the places here and here, especially where the natural nail is. You really want to make sure those places are touched. And then apply it just on the entire of the extension. So once I'm happy with this first layer, I can cure it. And this gel cures in 30 seconds. Actually, it didn't, the gel application didn't go as bad. And then we will be working with the cover gel. It's a very highly pigmented gel. The thin layer adheres much better and cures faster. That's the reason why I'm applying it on the nails as well. And then picking up the pink. Make sure it is nice and neat on my brush. Don't want to make the job more difficult. It is without of any extra trouble. I removed the excess of the product and now I'm applying it nicely in. I really don't like any empty spaces, so I'm pulling those folds again to make sure that the entire surface is covered with the gel. Yeah, now he wants to see how I'm building up the apex with it. So I'm applying nice and thin layer. And now is the time for the apex. So I'm picking up a larger scoop of the product, even more larger. This is going to be risky. But yeah, let's have some fun. Starting pretty close to the cuticle and then lying my brush so it's in a nice flat position. So I've got more brush contact with the product. I'm dragging it down the way to the free edge, one side, other side, one side, other side. And then just at the free edge I can brush, keep my brush harder contact because I don't want too much product there. Once I'm happy-ish with the product application, I'm just turning it upside down because it takes me a bit longer time and I'm not as precise. And then I will cure it. So I'm kind of helping to create the apex from upside down position, checking it. Oh my gosh. I can see how uneven it is. Okay, I'm going to cure it the way it is. And the cover gel cures in 30 seconds in an LED light. But again, depending of the thickness of the product, like that's the recommended curing time for a specific thickness of the product. If you're working pretty thick, like of course you will need to cure it a longer time for a full cure, because uncured products can cause some allergic reactions. And it's happening with acrylics as well, quite common, because acrylics full cure takes anything from 24 to 48 hours. So usually the nail techs are filing uncured product and then their hands are covered with it. So please watch that, guys. Now, because I'm not happy, normally that would be finished. That's the way how I'm building up, but that's the struggle with my not dominant hand. So I'm going to even out the surface with an extra product, just because I don't have as good control of my brush and the product. I want to make sure I've got nice amount of the product on the sides. So this layer is just, oh my gosh, this is so ugly from the side view. I need to apply all over one more time, nice and thin layer. So my gel for the apex, because it's too flat, definitely. It's too thick at the free edge and too flat at the nail bed. And a little bit more at the apex. So now I'm checking more the side view. Because I'm really thick at the sides, again, I don't want to apply the product, too much product on the sides, otherwise I will have hours of filing. I'm just adding an extra product on my apex. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And you can see from the side view, I've got too big bulk of the product here, and maybe just not enough in this place. But that's it. I'm going to cure it, and then we are going to file the shape. So that's my nail almost cure, and then I will remove the inhibition layer, the percentage of the gel which never cures, the one which got the contact with the air, and we will shape the nail. I will show you just on the one, because otherwise the video will take too long. I'm really struggling with this one. But I thought it will be funny and something challenging for you, for me as well, to say thank you for being on my channel and stay with us so long. So I'm removing the inhibition layer. And now I can shape my nail. I'm going to just remove the sharp edges from the file. I should do it before, but I didn't. So remove the sharp edges, so this way you've got less risk of cutting. And I'm starting with the side walls, so nice and straight. See, I even floated cuticles here on this side. And if anything like that happen, you really need to make sure this is all filed. So I'm filing the sides, nice and straight. Nice and straight. You can already see that's the shape kind of start becoming nice-ish. Then a little bit at the free edge. Keep the file nice and straight. And now that shows me a huge bulk of the product which I've got on my free edge. So I'm going to go and smooth it all over. And again, my left hand doesn't move much. I'm doing most of the job with my right hand, really. You can see also the scratches. I don't touch the apex area because I was thinking it was a little bit too flat, but once I remove the excess, this will balance it out. Okay, now file around the cuticles because you don't want the bulk of the product there. You want everything to be nicely blended in. And those kind of places, if they are not blend in, and if you can catch something here, that's the places which will lift. So I'm always filing it nice. We're almost done, actually. It wasn't as bad as I thought. So I'm checking all the side view, and I can see again I've got too much product here. But always keep checking because you don't want to overfile the things. I quite like to check also from underneath as well and file this way. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to buff this nail a little bit and I show you how it looks. So remove the dust and then just buff it a little bit. So that's usually the stage I'm going to stop because I want to compare this nail to the other nails and then do the final touches. But you can see it like it's not nicely yet blended. I will need to do a little bit more cuticle work here and a little bit more blending at this side. But anyway, I'm going to apply the gel on all the rest of the nails and then I will file them. Buff a little bit so we can do the final buff together and I will show you a little bit more of the detail and then we will just design them. So that's all the nails buffed. Yeah, it took me ages and I even got a couple cuts. You can see it on my pinky, which was really difficult, and on the thumb as well. This is so embarrassing, but but I try my best with the not dominant hand. The idea for the set came from my daughter's notebook, which I got for her. So you can see it's kind of like a dreamy unicorny rainbow style. and I thought it will be really nice to do it with all different colors on my nails and then sprinkle with some Aurora powder and of course Swarovski crystals. So yeah, have fun watching me struggle with my playing with my left hand. I will be using as a background, because I want the colors to be really nice and pastel-y, white, and just for the quickness I will use the paint on French gel rather than the gel polish, which you have to go with 2 top coats. Again, I will do 1 or 2 nails so you can see it, and then the rest I will do it on my own, just so you don't get bored. The paint on French is more pigmented than the gel polish, so, and I can apply a slightly thicker layer than I would do with the gel polish. I just pick up a tiny bit more to get a better coverage. See, this is where I've got the biggest trouble, the side walls from this side. So I will try to paint it this way. Do you've got any tips how to do your right hand if you're right-handed? I will really appreciate that, because I'm always struggle a lot. I'm pushing the product through the cuticle. Okay, first one done-ish. I can paint the second one. I'm just using a normal gel brush for this application. If you want to go even more precise, you could use a painting fine liner, like a very, very small brush, to do the job around the cuticle. Actually, I love my nails just white as well. I think they look nice. Used to wear the white nails a lot when I was a teenager. Okay, and now the struggle again. So let's find the solution. This is just taking so long. See, I think that's so another thing is, like, sometimes I read on the groups, chats and everything, like, oh, I had some other nail technician popping into me and she have been nosy, she have been checking what I'm doing, like, should I book her in or should I don't book her in? I think it is pretty nice to go to another nail technician and get your nails done rather than struggle yourself in a house. It is so easy for us to do one hand, but then the other hand is a big nightmare, like for me definitely. And if I will be booking nails to another nail technician, it wouldn't be the reason, like, you know, I want to find out what products she's using or like what techniques she's got. It would be really to chill out, relax, and save lots of time, because it takes us a double time to do our own nails. Of course, you have to trust the person, because I'm pretty fussy as well when it comes to to my nails, but I would still prefer to go somewhere else than playing 3 hours with my own hands. Okay, so the first one is done and I can cure it. I will do it the rest of them and then I come back to you guys with the next step. That's them all painted in white, and at the Scottish Hair and Beauty Show I have got some sponges from Shinty's, and that's what we will be using to create this rainbow unicorn look. So it's just like a wee sponge where I will be dabbing in and mixing the gel polishes. I've got a couple of the colors from the Neo News, and that's the Exotic Banana, Bayach, oh gosh, I'm rubbish, Bikini at pronouncing it, Bikini, Cheesing Dreams, Red Velvet Cake, Human Grip, Beard, oh gosh, 48121, and then I've got the Blue Cream Jelly and the Blue Tide. So I'll be mixing them kind of random way to achieve the desired look. So I'm just applying a tiny bit kind of random way. Because we've got this white, it's kind of making the colors to pops out even more. No, it looks a bit messy, but once it's finished, I think it is really interesting look. I don't need to be over too precise with the application. Depending what kind of colors you want, the more you just apply more of them. Usually the darker ones go for less of them, and then the lighter colors you can apply a bit more if you want to have a brightened look. That looks so messy. And then with the sponge I'm just going to mix those colors. And they will go really nice and pastel-y. Okay, I've got a bit of rubbish or something there. And the best way to get rid of them is a little bit of the sellotape, and I'm going to show you guys as well. See, I've got good husband. He just popped in to get some sellotape. I even didn't have to ask him. No, sellotape. I've got it here. Thank you, Patrick. So you take a tiny bit of the sellotape And then you just remove any dirt you've got on the sponge, like a wee fluffy bits. So you can see how nice and pastel-y it goes. Because the sponge is so big, you probably can't see it when I'm doing it. But basically, I'm just dabbing with the sponge and then the colors mix nicely together. But because we had those white background, they are really nice and pastel-y. Okay, I've got the first layer done. If I want to have some more intense colors, like say example more maybe pink in there and a purple, I can just add a tiny bit more pink and purple. And here maybe there. And I just blended that again. So basically you're just dabbing with the sponge. Make sure you keep the sponge straight, not on the side. And you can see how the color change on this one. It becomes more pink and purple. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Maybe a tiny bit more pink here. And just a touch of purple on this one. Ta-da! So that's a very similar look to the one on the book. But the one on the book is with the purples, a tiny bit of pink and a blue. I wanted to have kind of all rainbow colors. Now this is a time to cure them as well. And then we will apply some Aurora powder on top of that. I think that's pretty, using those kind of technique is pretty easy and quick. That's why I decided to go for it as well on my right hand. So, you know, I don't have to paint like roses, faces or anything too complicated with my left hand, because that will be a big disaster. I have tried this design as well, like, so that's how it looks with the Aurora powder. When I was thinking what should I get on my nails. And I think it looks really interesting, and adding Swarovski crystals, it's a perfect design, even for the people which don't like too many colors on their nails. Like I'm the person which usually wears nudes, okay, maybe a bit of pink, black, silver, gold, but I never kind of go for too many colors. But this is something which I could get away with, like, and it's not going to bother me, and I should be happy with this design for a good couple of weeks. So that's it cured. Now I will apply the top coat, no wipe top coat, and then we can wrap some Aurora pigment on top of it. They actually look pretty nice just the way they are now, even without of the pigment on top. I'll also show you the tips how to do it, the pigment, so it's last all couple weeks. When applying the top coat for the when applying the top coat for the Aurora pigments, you need to make sure there is no dust pieces or anything, because every kind of single piece of the dust is going to really badly show off on the pigment. You could probably achieve a similar look with the inks as well, but I just really like it, this combination of the colors, so I wanted to use the gel polish. I think when I go to work with those nails, like to my clients, they will request them as well, especially for those summertime, really nice and colorful ones. The girls will think I'm crazy, I'm wearing some colors on my nails. But yeah, I'm going to stick with them for a good couple of weeks, because it took me too long to take them off too soon, especially this hand. I'm just going to clean the excess of the top coat. Okay, I will check also under the light, because I'm so fussy later on, they will annoy me. I'm checking under the light for any dust, bits and pieces or any missing place, and I find one in here. Checking them from the other side. I think I'm happy. Okay, so we're going to cure them for... No, I am not. But it does bother me a lot later on, like a wee pieces of the dust in the nails. Come on. That's it. Okay, I'm really happy now. So I'm going to cure those nails for 60 seconds exactly. And then we will wrap in an Aurora pigment. I've got actually quite a few. I've got some Aurora pigment in here. I've got the one which is called Glass Me from Indigo, and then I've got the one from Neos. That's the one from eBay as well, the Aurora powder, and I find it is pretty good. But I will apply this one for a change. Obviously, because of the length of my nails, I'm going to put the pigment on the lid. And I will show you as well, like it looks really nice and sparkly. Really nice one. When we're rubbing the pigment, I always make sure like I rub it really well and there is no excess of the pigment. If there is any pigment left like on top, which is not rubbed in, it is going to go really kind of patchy, not nice looking on the nails. So I'm grabbing my pigment. And first step is to dab the pigment. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. The first step is to dab the pigment in. So I'm just dabbing it in. Gosh, my nails are too long. There we are. Dab, dab, dab. Dab, dab, dab. Make sure kind of almost every place is touched with the product. And once I have dabbed it in, I pick up a tiny bit more on my finger, and now I will start rubbing it in. The first rubs are really gentle because I don't want to remove, this is a top coat with no inhibition layer, but I can feel a little bit of stickiness-ish in it. So I don't want to damage this not existing inhibition layer. That will be probably the best word for that. And I'm just gently still rubbing, and very gently. Once I'm happy with this, I can pick up a tiny bit more, and now I will start rubbing more. So now I can go quicker, because I would really want to get those glass chromy looks. So I'm just rubbing this in properly. Make sure I don't move any, I don't leave any empty spaces. And you can see the difference, that this one goes much smoother compared to that. Actually, both versions. In this case, I like both versions. But I'm rubbing this in. It actually looks kind of similar to the tie-dye, the t-shirts. Like, I used to have some clothes like this color, like, which had lots of different colors in them. That was pretty fashion like a couple years ago, but I have seen it is coming back as well. Yeah, definitely. It looks like my t-shirt from 2006. Okay, they are start looking nice and interesting, like on rainbows, tie-dye, and unicorns, and everything all together. I need to remove the excess of the pigment before I can go and apply the top coat, and this is really important step. So because we cap the free edge with the top coat, we've got some pigment which is there, and the no wipe top coat doesn't have rough surface or doesn't have an inhibition layer. That's the reason why it's chipping quite often from the free edge. So to get rid of the trouble with the chipping chrome pigments, you just have to buff your free edge. Like, you need to give it a little bit of the rough surface to it, so the next layer of the top coat is going to stick to it and is going to protect it from any kind of chipping. So this is the step which is going to improve your chrome application. Now with the brush, I'm just removing the excess of the pigment. And apply the top coat. And of course, because I love lots of crystals, I'm going to stick a couple on them as well. And on the beginning of this video, I was showing you how to remove the crystal, so I will show you also one more time how to stick them on so they last so well. Like, make sure you cap your free edge at this stage. I actually really like them. Like, I thought I will be scared of the colors, but no. I think I can give you also another tip as well. Maybe do them separately, like don't do them all together, but do maybe one by one, because this way you place your colors slightly different way. I'm a little bit gutted maybe now that I don't have tiny bit more yellow at the end here. Okay, that's my top coat done, and then I'm going to cure it, and I will buff those 2 nails and come back to you. That's the crystal on, and you can see how nice bling they've got. I so love the Swarovski crystals. They always look absolutely stunning on the nails. And now I will show you how to apply them on. I will be using the Nail Perfect brush on glue, which is really strong, and the crystals last very well on it. So I'm putting glue on the place where I want to stick the crystals. Make sure you don't put too much, but then at the same time you need to have a proper amount of it so the crystal stays in. Because it dries really quick, I'm only applying a little bit and stick a couple crystals first. The glue is already starting catching them strong, so it's a time for me to add a drop more. And now we are going to apply a very large crystal. So for large crystals, you have to kind of push them to the smaller ones if you don't want them to come off as well. The smaller crystals are working like a protection, and they're supporting the larger one. So I'm happy with my placement. I double check if it's straight-ish. That's better. And then to secure this large one, I'm going to go with the glue around it and apply a smaller ones. I tend to push those small ones kind of underneath of the large one, and this way you have no catchy place, so like I can wash my hair with no trouble, I can do anything and they are staying on nice. Okay, time to add a bit of more glue. Again, with my right hand it goes on a bit quicker because I've got better control over the things I'm doing. And now I'm going to use the large crystal again. And secure it around it with the smaller ones. So with this kind of application you can really go with the pretty large crystals, and they are going to stay on nice. And then we need 2 smaller ones. Again, I start feeling the glue is drying out, so I might maybe manage with this one. Yeah. And then another large crystal. At the end of this large crystal, I want to put a tiny one, just so the it's more smooth at the free edge. You don't want it to be catchy, and these large crystals they stick out a little bit more. So if I would just apply the large crystal, it could feel pretty catchy, and I don't want that. I want my crystals to feel nice and secure and flat to the nail. Okay, this one I need to move it a little bit, so I'm going to do it with my finger. Just because the glue starts catching it, so I don't want to lose the stickiness of the glue. And a small one at the end. After that, we have to secure everything with the top coat. Of course, we don't want to apply the top coat on the top of the crystals, because then they lose their cuts and you cannot see how nice they are. They are not as shiny anymore. So I'm using a very small brush to go around them. And you can see like this round crystal went underneath of this large one. So this way we get a really nice and smooth surface. I'm going to grab my top coat and just put a tiny bit of it on my brush. Then with the brush, I'm going to go around the crystals. Pick up again. And again. Especially underneath of this one, because we didn't use any small crystals around it. I have to make sure that I've got the top coat there, so it is not going to be catchy. If sometimes happen that you've got bigger gaps, like I've got 2 gaps in here, I'm going to be very precise now. And I will apply a drop there and a drop there without touching the crystals. Then just take your top coat and top coat it around it. So one side, other side. And that's it finished. So I'm going to cure the nails, but first of all I will just show you how they look when they finish, and you will be able to see them. Look at this blink. I'm really happy to produce this video for you, and I hope you have enjoyed watching it. If you did, please share it with your friends as well, just to keep me motivated, so I can see you are all there watching and liking those videos. Thanks guys. Bye.